What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about PayPal. I want to go over some of the current data points, what's been coming out associated to the company itself, and where it might be going next. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And with that said, let's get right to it. So at the time of doing this video, it is down 1.24%. As soon as the market did open though, it had a nice pop up to 67.25. So it bounced off of a very strong support. I'll talk on the resistance levels and everything in a second. But as far as volume, rather low, 6.48 million shares been traded, 15.6 is the average. These are some of the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. So in comparison to the last several trading days, rather low. But outside of that though, dark pool very much popular over this last little bit. So dark pool is used by large institutions as well as shorts, but in PayPal's case, it's not heavily shorted. And even right now, shorts are returning about 34 or almost 35,000 shares, 2.01% of the free float being shorted, and then utilization is 0.12%. So I'm just bringing this up to analyze. Definitely do not see PayPal being a short squeeze play. So the fact that shorts are returning on a red day kind of shows that it's unjustified. So that's kind of an optimistic thing. As of right now, there has been no recent SEC filings. So last one was a 144 submitted on March the 7th. Aside from that though, there hasn't been any substantial news that's been coming out. Last one was on March the 13th. So aside from that, PayPal has just been piggybacking off of the broader market's optimism. Thank you, Powell. And over and above that, just PayPal's technicals. And PayPal's technicals has been one thing that I've brought up time and time again, because that has been very optimistic over the last 2-3 weeks. So again, that's kind of a good thing. Even as of right now, the Elliott wave technicals do point for higher highs to come. A lot of people are shouting that PayPal is going to be 100 in the short term. That's a little bit too optimistic, but based on the Elliott wave technicals, it does have the pivot point being $58.70. For as long as PayPal is above that, then it is anticipated to get between the 72.40 and 75.30. So I think that's kind of optimistic, at least in the short term. Let me know your thoughts on that and if you think it's realistic or not, or whatever else. And then aside from all of that fun stuff, just to quickly go back over here, looking at the options right now, $16 million in calls being purchased versus 2.64 million in puts. Sentiment wise, somewhat evenly divided today. So 47% of all the options being done today. And of those call options that are being purchased, there is a consensus for it to be roughly above about $70 by the end of next week. So kind of matching with that technicals that I just pointed out. And then looking at puts, it is anticipated for it to be sub 66. So in my opinion, I think the risk versus reward is definitely there, and people are anticipating for it to continue to trend up. Just right now, there's a lot of volatility that is happening with PayPal, and the fact that it did bounce off of this resistance point is kind of a good thing. It's resetting the technicals somewhat, because right now with it at 65.21, it is trading between this R1 and this R2. Just briefly, it did kind of just right now break this R2. So we'll just have to wait and see whether it does close above it or below it. But this 67.26 is that resistance point that it did bounce off of first thing. But overall though, PayPal has gone up quite a lot over a short time period. So I think this today is more of a cooling off period, consolidation, which is still very healthy for the long-term aspect of the stock and the technicals. So right now, assuming it stays as sort of the status quo, then 64.01 will be that next strong support. Once again, we'll just have to wait and see how this R2 does play out and where it does land ultimately. But as of right now, looking on the actual chart, it is higher percentile of the Bollinger Band and above a lot of the key pivotal moving averages. And even looking at stochastic, it is at 80 or almost even closer to 90. So it is considered overbought. So like I said, any sign of weakness, whether it be the technicals or just a slowing essentially, you're going to have a pullback, because not everything just goes straight up, right? It's not realistic. So today is more of a consolidation day. Still nothing really wrong with PayPal behind the scenes. Technicals are still looking very optimistic. So today will probably help reset it somewhat, but one point to watch for, you'll want to watch for it to hold that $63/$64 support. And then assuming it does, then bigger and better things should be coming still, which I don't know if $100 in the short term is realistic. I feel like there would have to be a lot of things go right essentially for that to happen. One of which is Fed cutting their interest rates. Based based on this is projections, so it does show there's a 67% likelihood or estimate for this upcoming June meeting that there is going to be a 25 basis point cut. So if that does happen, then yeah, a lot of growth stocks, including PayPal, will continue to run up. But I don't see $100 at least in the short term. But then again, I'm not a financial advisor. You guys do your own due diligence. Number of retail investors have been getting in over the last little bit, ever since it looks like beginning of February. Today, they're kind of pulling out, maybe taking profits or first signs of weakness. They're kind of selling out. I'm not really sure, but all in all, I'm really excited about PayPal bigger picture. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, make sure you guys take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account with Moo, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000, so take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.